Okay. Roll call, please.
Mayor Middlesex.
Here.
Council President Carnahan.
Here.
Councilman Carnes.
Here.
Councilman DeCino.
Here.
Councilman Doty.
Here.
Councilman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Rex.
Here.
Administrator Laplace.
Here.
And Attorney Corsini.
Here. Okay. As we move on down this, I just want to make a note to everybody that the Rescue Squad presentation will not be happening tonight. They have a scheduling conflict, so they're going to push that off. And the hearing, which is number 7, 328 Beechwood Avenue, that will not be happening tonight. Okay. This is a good night. It only is 50 years in the making. All right? Pillars in Middlesex, I couldn't be more proud and more honored to be in the company of Jack Costa as he receives the Pillar of Middlesex Award. So Jack, come on up. All right? And we have a special guest. No. This is a 2-stage thing here because you're a special kind of guy. And one of the things I didn't realize that you're still in your booth is that we have actually the Mayor Emeritus who spent 38 years with you. He's actually prepared a little bit of a speech. But before we get started with that, we're going to have Mike. He's going to read the proclamation.
Whereas the governing body of the Borough of Middlesex recognizes that in order for a community to thrive and succeed, they must rely on the service, commitment, and passion of others. And whereas it is in the spirit that Mayor Middlesex would like to honor and recognize individuals throughout the community whom have made exceptional contributions to the Borough of Middlesex as pillars of our community, and whereas throughout the years Jack Costa has consistently demonstrated praiseworthy service and unprecedented commitment to the borough and its residents by being an irreplaceable asset to the fire department, Office of Emergency Management, and the community as a whole. And whereas under the leadership of Jack Costa, the Office of Emergency Management has benefited since his appointment as director in 1996. And whereas Jack has proved to be a fundamental part of the Middlesex Borough Fire Department since 1974, when he joined the A.C. Pierce Hose Company as a firefighter. And whereas Jack has served in various capacities throughout the years with the fire department, some of which include holding the position of fire chief from 1989 to 91, lieutenant captain, second assistant chief, first assistant chief, Middlesex Borough Fire Department treasurer for 13 years, H.C. Pierce Hose Company treasurer for 40 years, safety officer and department training officer for 6 years. And whereas Jack has devoted his life to ensuring the safety of others through volunteer service, which is the backbone of the community, ensuring the future of Middlesex, thus allowing the borough to thrive and succeed. Whereas Jack's dedication and accomplishments have been recognized by others through the receipt of the Outstanding Citizen Award twice, the Mayor's Medal in 2001, Health Citizen of the Year in 2007, and the Distinguished Service Award winner in 2012. And whereas Jack Costa has displayed exemplary service and dedication to the municipality and has become an integral part of the community. Now, therefore, Jack Middlesex, Mayor of the Borough of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, along with the Middlesex Borough Council, and on behalf of the residents of Middlesex, wish to thank Jack Costa for all of his dedication, sacrifice, and labor to our community. In witness whereof, I hereby set my hand in the seal of Borough of Middlesex to be affixed this 26th day of November, 2024.
No? A couple of words? That's all right. Not much. That's all right. I have to say something. Well, Mayor Madden's going to want to have a rebuttal.
First of all, thank everybody for coming tonight. It's quite an honor. You know, in 1969, I got out of the service in 1969. At that time, we started looking around for a place to live. We found a little town. We found a realtor named Ralph T. Reed Lee. A lot of people don't know what that is. And we moved to a little town called Middlesex Borough. Never heard of it. Cool thing. One of the first things I've ever seen here in Middlesex, when we were moving in, had a fire truck one day coming down the street, coming down at the time with P Street, where I was bringing stuff in the front door, and he had Santa Claus on top of the truck. That's pretty cool, you know? Not knowing many years later, I was wearing that suit. I lived there in the house 2 years before I really knew the volunteer fire. And before I even knew the firehouse about one. And all found out because a friend of mine, I saw directing traffic one day in an accident scene, told his girl. So I said to my wife, well, I like doing it. She told his wife, and he got locked in my door. He stopped me. I've got people like that in the past too. When we first moved here, we said we'd live here for 7 years. 7 years never came, obviously. We're still here. I want to thank the mayor and council for that. It's really nice. My borough, my accomplishments within the borough could not have been except for water. The last 50 years, 57 in marriage, 50 years here. And my kids, I guess I got it. But then for the last 6 months of my injuries, she's been putting up a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah. He's got 357 pages, so
There you go. Filibustering. Here comes the filibustering. And John will tell you the words. If you ask him.
Okay, a few words for Jack. And also, I have a little lyrical component to this.
Here we go.
Oh, my God. Good evening. We're here tonight to pay tribute and celebrate the extraordinary career of Jack Costa with OEM and Fire. We are witnessing a profound 50-year legacy, the likes of which may probably never happen again. Just think about that. In this half-century of continual service, Jack faced many sudden exigencies which required immediate and efficient action. Between all those frequent state directives, EOC meetings, communication glitches, mobilizing the necessary assets, including the coordination with first responders to secure the various hazards and disasters within our town, takes a well-disciplined individual to make it all happen. Just think about the incredible time and effort necessary to develop and maintain a rigorous borough-wide emergency operations plan alone. This is just one burden in his quiver of endeavors. Excuse me. A true spirit of his is this station, and obviously he took everything in stride. Obviously a great deal preparing, planning, and providing for these domestic hazards such as fires, floods, weather, or traffic emergencies are all within the scope of responsibilities. Responding to and recovery from such events are also paramount to OEM activities. In addition, substantial training for NIMS, the National Incident Management System, which you forgot about, is also required. Drawn from his profound experience, Jack has always been on top of the game and ahead of the curve. Middlesex Borough has greatly benefited from his guidance and experience over the years. As we look ahead, it's reassuring to know that his well-proven potential is limitless. When destiny comes knocking again, we know that he will want to sign up for another 50. This part I call the Ode to the Next Half-Century Man. The crackle of the radio blares. No time to finish the task. The new message is loud and clear. It's been on my list, but now last. With hastened response and resources abound, the plan is now on the board. But will it service the entire town or fail with its deficient cord? So here's the toast to 50 years of setting the bar so high. When the stars align, as it appears, your long-standing legacy is justified. So on behalf of all our residents, we wish to express our deepest gratitude to Jack Costa for his unwavering dedication and inspiring leadership. Thank you.
Right, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Sure, just like mine. That's quite a legacy right there. All right. Absolutely, take your time.
Will.
Well, we know that. Guys, if you guys want to sneak out after this before the meeting starts, now is your big chance to do this. Otherwise, you're going to be here for a while. Ready? All right, well, let's get back into this. Tonight, we have 2 ordinances for introduction. Linda?
Okay, we have ordinance number 2138-24, an ordinance fixing and determining the salary range of certain officers and employees of the Borough of Middlesex.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second? Okay.
I would
Roll
like
call.
to make a motion to strike the entire thing except for code enforcement zoning officer, recreation officer, and recreation officer and aging director, recreation program coordinator, and recreation clerk.
Okay, so are we okay to...
Everything but those 4.
Right, which is what we just discussed. All right, we need a motion to accept the amendment.
So you're making a motion to amend, right?
Motion to amend. Second?
Second to amend.
Second? All right. And we're amending it,
All
so
in
it's these
favor?
4 lines. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
All right.
So, Linda, you'll just, the final ordinance that will appear in the packet next time will include only these 4 positions.
Only these
Every other
4.
one may be removed. That is the amendment. Now you go to vote to introduce.
Okay.
You're ready.
Now, we need a motion to vote on it, to introduce
As
it.
amended.
Motion to introduce
As amended, right.
Aye. Yeah.
Second? You got a second? Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Council President Carnahan?
Yes.
Councilman Carnes?
Yes.
Councilman DeCino?
Yes.
Councilman Doty?
Yes.
Councilman Quinn?
Yes.
Councilman Rex?
Yes.
Okay. The public hearing will be at the next meeting, December 17th. Okay. Second ordinance, please.
We have ordinance number 2139-24, an ordinance amending Chapter 247 Development Fees of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Middlesex to reconfigure chapter order.
Motion, second? All right. Roll call, please.
Council President Carnahan?
Yes.
Councilman Carnes?
Abstain.
Councilman DeCino?
Yes.
Councilman Doty?
Yes.
Councilman Quinn?
Yes.
Councilman Rex?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the adoption of the minutes, all right? You ready?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Approval of the October 22nd, 2024 regular and executive meeting minutes.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And we have approval of the October 29th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good, thanks. All right, let's move on to the mayor's report. All right, I got a few things going on here. First of all, I'd just like to make an announcement and express our condolences for Bob Bucko, who passed away yesterday. He was on the land use board for many years, and he was also one of the engineers going back and forth. He was a longtime part of what we did in here in this town, and we're sad to see him go, unfortunately. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a few things happening. I did attend for the seniors, the puzzles and pastries that was run by the police. That was over in the community room. That was actually a very nice event. It was a lot of fun. Looks like it was well attended and everyone had a great time. It was a banner day also for the seniors because they managed to, they had the senior Thanksgiving luncheon at the rec. So I went from one to the other. I was able to go right over there. They had a nice turnout there. Once again, they had a bunch of stuff. The people were in a great mood, and it's good to see a lot of events happening for the seniors, and they're doing a good job. All right. A couple of things we had. We had Pond Avenue going, and I just want to, like I did last time, just read back and forth where we stood. All right?
That's regarding 207.
This is 207 Pond Avenue, yep. Okay, so on November 4th, after the meeting, hi Carol, any update on this matter? You were due to receive a response the week of October 21st. Okay? Basically, she gave us an update saying that it still was under consideration at that time. She said it was actually going for, we did not receive the response from the GDB until last week. It is currently under review. I'll let you know when that review is completed, is what she said. She responded on the 6th. We thanked her for the update. How long does it normally take for that review? At that point, sorry about that. She responded back after that. I put the pages in the wrong order. I'm trying to read it going backwards, and I put them in a forward order, so it just made my life a little bit more interesting. But anyway, on the 6th, she said, I have not been given a time frame for the review. Thank you. We followed up again, and then on November 20th, good afternoon. Please be advised that GDB has withdrawn their plan inclusion request for the proposed Class D recycling facility on Pond Avenue. I'll be sending out the official response to comments document tomorrow for information purposes only. The county will not be taking any further action on this matter. So it is not going to be a Class D recycling facility. One of the things that is going to happen is that the administrator, sorry, I was looking for him over there, is we're going to actually have Tyler make a little stop by just to make sure that everything is on the up and up. That's that one. Okay. This one's a bit longer, so you're going to have to bear with me. Okay. A lot of pages to this one, sorry. Okay, November 4th. It's been a couple of weeks. Any word on this 2-inch reflective strips? This is regarding the railroad crossing. Additionally, it may take an extended amount of time for a final evaluation on the above-grade crossing. I would like a meeting to discuss some intermediary steps that can be taken that may address many of the safety concerns before a final decision is made. That was sent by me on November 4th. Okay. On the 8th, they responded, hello, Mayor. NJDOT Railroad will work with New Jersey Transit to complete the 2-inch reflector strips. New Jersey DOT Railroad has someone reviewing the sign locations. Okay. A couple of weeks after that, I went back. Good morning, Barbara and August. I have received word that the 2-inch reflector strips are installed. Thank you. Unfortunately, last night, this was by 8:20 in the morning after they had the car get hit by the train the next morning. Unfortunately, last night we had another incident where a train struck a vehicle at this crossing. Fortunately, there were no injuries or fatalities this time. This event reaffirms the urgency that we need to take intermediary measures at this crossing, and our December meeting cannot come soon enough. Please schedule a meeting as soon as possible. A Saturday a.m. meeting at the crossing in December with a follow-up at Borough Hall would be ideal for me, or even this Saturday at 8 a.m. This needs to be urgently addressed. That same morning, the Chief of Police, Matt Geist, he sent an email over to them basically corroborating what I said, that we do need to have this meeting. A little further that morning, I also sent them a little, at 10:17, I sent them, here is the press today on the accident last night. I sent them the article that was written, so this way it just kind of letting them know that, hey, it's out there. This is what we're hearing about. Intermediate steps need to be considered if the long-term solution of a bridge is not in the immediate future at this point. Okay. I am in touch with Captain Kaminsky this morning. I'm working with Barbara Ferrand to set up a meeting with the state DOT after the Thanksgiving holiday to address these issues and concerns. It looks like it will be the week of December 2nd. I'll make sure I'm available to attend. Thank you for a response. I look forward to meeting the week of December 2nd. Have a good weekend. All right. This actually on the 24th, which is this past Sunday, which actually brought this all about. On Sunday, November 24th, and this is from Captain Kaminsky, going to the Middlesex Police Department Command, who forwarded it to me. On Sunday, November 24th, at approximately 1:30 a.m., the Cedar Ave railroad crossing gates remained in the down position with the flashing light signals activated. New Jersey Transit was notified, and New Jersey Transit police officer arrived on the scene and took control of the crossing. Technicians arrived on the scene and determined a circuit breaker failure on the Conrail Norfolk Southern Railroad crossing gate control box, geez, that's a mouthful, had failed, which caused the gates to remain in the down position. The New Jersey Transit officer directed cars around the gate. Once it was confirmed no trains were approaching, the repairs were completed at approximately 9:30 a.m. No incidents occurred at the crossing during the time of the malfunction. At that point, I sent another note to them. She corroborated. They concurred with the request. There's a couple of emails that went back and forth today. Hello, Mayor. The New Jersey DOT Railroad Safety Unit will schedule a field meeting to review the crossing concerns. We are circulating dates within the department and with the railroads. Presently, we are trying to schedule the meeting for the week of 12/2, which is basically what they said. It went back and forth 2 or 3 times. Next Wednesday at 1:30 at the railroad crossing, we are going to have a meeting with all the related parties. They got back to us, so we've gotten a lot of progress on that, and that's because we hit them from a lot of different angles, and I'd like to thank the captain and the chief, obviously, because you know, when the things are going bad, to keep hitting at them, you know, and to your point, Kevin, you just got to keep being the greasy wheel, and that's what we are. So we're going to have a meeting, because the status of it right now is based on that original meeting 5 years ago. There was a short-term solution and a long-term solution. Well, with the 2-inch reflector strips, the short-term solution is now done. So in their minds, until the long-term solution comes, nothing's going to happen. But, you know, they're evaluating a grade crossing and all that. By the time the engineering comes and all the rest of that, you know, a lot of us won't be here to even think about it. You know, because these long-term things are really long-term. And that's why I wrote in there, you know, if it's a long-term solution that's not going to start pretty soon, we should be looking at having other steps taken in the meantime. They're going to come down. The police are going to be represented by the chief and the captain are going to be there. I am going to attend that meeting. They have a whole host of other people. I'm sure Administrator LaPlace is going to make an appearance for sure. The thing that I personally want to see is I want to see them do some intermediary steps, which to me, I think at the very minimum, they should be putting crossing gates on the inside of those two things, because the one fatality was because the person was on the one track and backed into the other one. At least if the gates are there and you're inside the gates, you should be feeling relatively safe that, you know, you're in a good spot. You shouldn't have anything happen. That's all I have to say on that. Last but not least, it is Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving came about because it started in the 1600s with the Pilgrims and all the rest of that good stuff, and there was an Indian tribe that they got together, and they actually learned off of each other, and they met. But the reason Thanksgiving came about is Thanksgiving was, they wanted to give thanks to God, actually, for getting them through another year. Well, the way I look at it is I'm almost through my first year here. I thank God I made it so far, and I like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and that's my report. Okay, moving on. Council President.
Thanks, Mayor. Congratulations to Jack. I was hoping he'd stick around, but I know he's not feeling the best. I wanted to congratulate him again. He's truly a Middlesex treasure. I want to thank everyone who attended our last meeting, which is the town hall back on the 29th of October. I'm hopeful that we could summarize some of the key takeaways, maybe either the December meeting or even the second meeting in January, maybe the reorg, but sometime I think January is probably more realistic. Next week, the Parks meeting will host the newly appointed engineering firm for the first of many meetings related to the creation of a master plan for Victor Crowell Park. That meeting's due Tuesday, December 3rd at 7:30 in the community room. Thank you to our police department for hosting Coffee with the Cop at the Superfood grocery store. It was very well attended. I think the mayor addressed this, but I was going to bring up GBD Paint at 207 Pond. Thank you to DPW for renovating and relighting the old Borough Hall sign at the corner of Mountain and 28 across from Rita's there. Thank you, Bobby. It's actually lit with the solar light and saved us tons of money. So I missed the library board meeting, which was last week, but the next Friends of the Library Jazz program is actually Sunday, December 15th. That's the last for this year. It's at 2 p.m. in the community room. The Recreation Department will be again hosting the annual Winter Wonderland Festival. This is one of our biggest events by far. That's Saturday, December the 7th from 2 to 7 p.m. at Mountain View Park. Free admission, and that's our traditional tree lighting, music, food trucks, entertainment, DJs, other activities, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, photos, a lot of good stuff. So Saturday, December 7th, and happy Thanksgiving and all. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, thanks. Councilman Carnes.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Administration, I received no updates, no information on anything. On the administrative side, disabled seniors, same thing. Film committee, same thing. I haven't received anything from anybody. Culture and arts, they're doing well. They're excited. They're going to start moving on a few things for next year. Been doing well. Councilmatic meetings, finance meeting, I haven't heard anything. Library, I haven't heard anything. Recreation, no, I haven't heard anything. Swim pool commission, no, I haven't heard anything. And community celebrations, no, I have not heard anything on anything. Thank you, man.
Okay. Councilman DeCino.
Also, being a member of the J-Love, my condolences to Bob Bucko and his family also. I worked with him probably 3 or 4 years, but I know he's been here a lot longer than me, and he was a great guy, so really, surely missed. As far as DPW, they have a new Facebook page, DPW Recycling Facebook page, which is helpful. You have to download that. Gives all the information that the days are closed, garbage pickup, recycle, all that stuff, so that's great. Also, Recycle Center is closed Thanksgiving, Friday, and Saturday this year, because that's their holiday there, so it's closed also Saturday. They reopen Tuesday. So some of the road work Lenny's done on Pearl Place. A lot of the curbs and gutters were damaged there. They replaced all those gutters. They did the concrete work. They did a good job on that, so that's good. Also, there are still leaf bags. Bring your coupon. Lenny also assisted the Environmental Commission with getting some of the lots cleared to plant the trees. Unfortunately, we couldn't use the lot that they cleared because that's where the flood wall's gone. So they utilized the area behind McDonald's and planted it along that thing there. So that was good. No longer collecting bulk until February. Please do not place items on the curb, which happens often. So Tyler is aware of that, so we'll work on that. Lenny also he's working on the tree inventory grant and the local recreation grant. As far as snow plowing and snow, we're all prepared. All the plows are working. Salters, brines, that's all ready to go. Mayor, as far as the hydro thing in the lake,
The lake is low.
Monday after the holiday, they're going in. That's the report I have from Lenny.
Oh, really? Okay.
As far as the environmental, we had a Zoom meeting with Claire, Lenny, myself, and Silver Fox. With the Jarian, we're trying to get that environmental resource mapping done. We're on our way, so we have to see what we need there. So also, the Green Team has appointed members in their roles as we move into 2025. The talk about the trees planted. Also, Claire Lenny and the interim recycling coordinator, they had an agreement with Plastic Services on Lincoln Boulevard for a styrofoam. They won't give us any money for it, but we want to pay to dump it and keep it out of the landfill, so that's a plus. We're working on the logistics to get that, how we're going to collect it at recycle. That's a good thing.
Okay.
That's all I have.
That's all you have? Just a couple of quick questions. At the end of the day, and this is actually, maybe you know, or Claire, how many trees did we wind up having? We planted, we started with what, 300?
There's at least 300 trees planted in Middlesex program.
Okay.
So the residents of Middlesex planted them the other day.
Wow. So in terms of what we set out to do, we accomplished it. That's always a plus. Congratulations. I know it was a lot of work on your part. Thank you very much on behalf of the borough. Okay, Councilman Doty.
Yes, Mayor. First thing, since we're talking about trees, Shade Tree Commission has put off their fall planting because it's so dry. And Lenny would have had to have a hard time watering everything. So they decided to put it off. If you see a bunch of work going on, Linda is spending their money now to get trees taken care of. So don't be shocked if you see a predator out there cutting trees down. That's for the shade tree. I also have the fire department. For October, they had 47 calls. Let's see, some of the highlights. There was 3 unauthorized burnings, which I don't get it with how dry it was, so they had to show up 3 of those. There was 8 motor vehicle accidents with no injuries, and 6 with injuries. Chief sent over a little report too. On October 9th, they were dispatched to the rear of 429 Lincoln Boulevard for a dumpster fire. They were able to extinguish it, and everything was clear within 30 minutes. The 18th, they were dispatched to 46 North Mountain Avenue, helping out Greenbrook for a brush fire. They were there for just under an hour, and they were able to help them control a brush fire over there in Greenbrook. 21st of October, they responded to the rear of Middlesex High School for a reported smoke condition. First arriving units located a falling tree in the woods on fire and extinguished it without incident. They had members attend a flammable liquids drill at Middlesex County Fire Academy on October 6th, and they held Fire Prevention Day at all borough schools on October 8th. Another note for them, I believe, I may be corrected, but 14th Santa will be in everybody's neighborhood, so if your neighbors have kids, make sure they're ready to listen for the trucks coming. That was announced at the last meeting with them. That's what I have for the fire. Court for October, 272 tickets, 46 parking, 226 moving violations, 3 DWIs. They had 18 criminal complaints, 2 local ordinance violations, 4 zoning. They did 3 court sessions, 1 in person and 2 virtual. 195 defendants, 217 cases were deposed, 10 DWIs deposed. Total assessed fine costs were $28,420.58. Borough's portion is $13,924.34. And they, from what I hear, they are backed up for a couple of months. I'm sure the chief can attest to that. And so could Tyler, because they're just backed up in the court. I also have the police report that came through. 2,129 calls to service in October, 19 adult arrests, summonses, motor vehicles 266, radars 40, and motor vehicle crashes they responded to 41. Our Detective Bureau is working on some cases. Let me get to that page. They started investigating civil assault. One of those, 7 harassment calls. They had a sexual assault / sexual contact they're investigating. They had 3 burglary trespassings and 2 thefts that they are currently doing, and the rest of it is the usual stuff. Today, I know they will be around. Make sure you say Merry Christmas. I saw them
on Halloween, handing out candy to officers. I was over by the mayor's house, and we saw the police officer over there giving out candy to the kids. So,
Yep.
Support your police. They're doing a great job for us right now. That's what I have, Mayor.
Okay. I guess with the time change, the people forgot how to drive a little bit because the accidents are a little bit high.
Yeah.
I did want to say, on the environmental side, I did go to the Middlesex County household hazardous waste drop-off that they had. That was quite the operation, and they made it super simple that, I mean, I went through the house, and I literally filled up half the back of the van with all kinds of aerosols and sprays that were half used, and, you know, you dig it out and you say, how long has we even had this thing? They made it super simple. What a great, they did a super nice job. It was up at Middlesex County College, and it, you know, you're figuring it's going to be like here. You're going to see 2 people. They must have had 50 people. They're coming out with shopping carts. It was quite the operation. Okay, sorry to digress. Councilman Quinn.
Okay, so just to beat the dead horse again, the Board of Health rejected a bunch of the incomplete records that were brought to us. Hopefully it gets better with Somerset County, let's see. And other than that, happy Thanksgiving, Middlesex.
All right, very good. Okay, Councilman Rex.
I don't have anything to report of, but I do have a comment. It's been more than a year for me, and I'm grateful and humbled to have been your councilman for all this time, and I support all the support that the council and the residents have given me in this period of time where I've been here. I've tried to remain as active as I can be, but I'm here tonight, and I plan on going forward to the best of my ability.
We're looking forward to seeing you next month, and you've been an excellent councilman. Okay, administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. The Middlesex Public Library's new local history room is now scheduled to open to the public in January. If anyone has anything of local and historical interest that they'd like to contribute to the new facility, please contact the library director, Chrissy George. The state of New Jersey requires municipalities to complete an annual survey of best practices. Staff recently completed this extensive survey for Middlesex Borough. The survey involves a series of questions, both scored and unscored, to gauge if the municipalities are following required state statutes and mandatory deadlines, as well as to gather information pertaining to current topics under consideration for possible new legislation. The scored questions this year focused on topics such as required components for our website, including minutes, meeting minutes, calendars, audits posted, budgets posted, and confirmation that all filing dates for budget adoption, annual debt statements, annual financial statements, and our audit had been met, and that the documents have been properly submitted to the state. A lot of housekeeping. Other scored sections involve questions about cybersecurity, financial disclosure compliance, and any shared services for statutory positions like Chief Financial Officer. Tax collector, municipal clerk, and tax assessor as well. The unscored sections focused heavily on statistical information as it pertained to such topics as lead remediation inspections on rental units, and the most recent affordable housing fair share current and future possible obligations by the various towns. These unscored questions are always a good indicator of things that the state plans to focus on in the upcoming year and things that may be discussed in upcoming legislative session. The good news is that the borough needed to score a minimum of 35 points to continue to qualify for our full allotment of state aid, which we get each year. And Middlesex score for 2024 was 45, which was a strong score. So we're in good shape. Moving on, the state's Blue Acres program, which is set up to purchase properties near waterways with homes that experience repeated and extensive flooding, has informed the borough that the residential property located at 239 Raritan Avenue, that's that last house on the westerly side of Raritan Avenue, is in the process of being purchased. If the Blue Acres purchase is completed, the house on the site will eventually be removed. The recruitment of our new full-time zoning and code enforcement officer will proceed with interviews in December. We received applications from 10 prospective candidates, so we got a good response. Council resolutions on the agenda this evening include authorization for the borough to apply to Sustainable New Jersey Climate Vulnerability Assessment Technical Assistance Program and authorization to participate in the Sustainable New Jersey and Public Service Electric and Gas Energy Efficiency Partnership Program. Also authorization for the Middlesex Police Department to purchase 10 new rifles and new equipment from Atlantic Tactical in the amount of $8,723.89. And authorization for the transfer of funds for operating 2024 operating budget and the 2024 swimming pool organization budget. As far as tonight's agenda, there's no agenda workshop discussion scheduled. In an executive session this evening, we will have a discussion of potential litigation regarding the Middlesex County Municipal Joint Insurance Plan. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for here at Middlesex Borough. I'm certainly thankful for being here, and I thank everyone, my staff and members of the community and mayor and council for all their support and guidance. Thank you.
All right, very good. You know, the only thing that was a little disheartening with the Raritan Avenue memo is that there are 3 more properties that they're considering, which, you know, everyone's always about revenue. Well, the problem is that 4 houses go out. That's, you know, almost the full tax point going the wrong way. Okay, right now, I'd like to open it up to the privilege of the floor. If you're coming up, state your name and address for the record.
For volunteer you have, of course, the trains. My suggestion is to go in demand what needs to be done. If there is a wreck that causes a derailment, the entire town can be done. This has already happened in other places across the country. I know from the time when I was calling on this, they know the responsibility there. They know what they need to do. 5 years ago, they talked about a long-term plan. Enough. Do it. They did their markings. They created nothing. The next day, somebody was on the tracks. Now, one suggestion when it comes to crawling up there is have someone from the fire department, possibly OEM, possibly the police department, contact the rail line and tell them they want full inventory of the chemicals that pass through this town on that freight line. And they have a right to that information. I know that the fire department presently should have an updated list of the chemicals that are across the tracks. All the businesses across the tracks are supposed to be submitting the chemical
Yeah, that would be community right to know.
Right.
Everyone's required to do that.
Right. Start having people call Conrail or the freight line, community right to know what's passing through here. And keep calling. Organize people if somebody calls every day. Or call me back in a week. Call them tomorrow. Call them the next day. It becomes such a problem they want to get rid of you. Because they're not moving on it. They're just not. This has been this way for how long now? And there's going to be other instances. There's going to. Until they put a bridge over, which I know sounds like a huge project, but if you look at those links that I had sent everybody, they've done those huge projects. And they've done them in other areas.
Oh, sure.
Crossings that were not fatal.
Well, at this point, we're going to, you know, the next step is we got the meeting. You know, one of the reasons that I shuffled my work schedule around is that, you know, we haven't been very mealy-mouthed about it at all. I've been pretty much on them that just we have to do something. It's gone far enough. It's long enough. You know, what are you going to do?
Right, but when you say that, you know, the long term might be something none of us look to see, I mean, that's me. I've got.
Well, which is exactly my point. If they're not going to do something, I mean, it takes them a long time to get certain things done, but there's other things that they should be doing now, including the long term. They haven't told us what the long term thing is, or how long it's even going to take. That's what we're waiting for. We want them to tell us, and we want to tell them while we're waiting for them, we still want things done.
I say tell them what the solution is. Instead of waiting around for them to come up. They were here 5 years ago. And long term, here we are, there's been another accident.
Of course.
So now, all accidents are terrible, but it's seeing the buses that cross that, and seeing buses get stuck on that. I was behind the bus in the video somewhere. There was a green light on the Piscataway side, there was a red light on the Lincoln side, and a school bus went across and got stuck sitting on those tracks. As terrible as the things that have happened there have been, what could actually really unfold is catastrophic.
Oh, absolutely.
And it needs to be addressed. And I understand you're back on it and everything else, and kudos, it's great. Now there's another meeting and everybody, I quit that meeting, I'd be demanding stuff. Because when I spoke with August, he told me after that one death and 2 women, he said all eyes were on Conrail because they knew it was their responsibility, because those tracks did not always run side by side. There was a point in time when those tracks veered off. It didn't come into Middlesex through here the way that they do. They consolidated it for their own benefit. And in August's words, and since they did it, it's been killing people ever since. So they know they're in the wrong.
Well, we're not there. We're not going to let them off the hook yet. We got them. We have their interest, and we're not going to let it slide.
I mean, there's certain things can't be done within the confines of a borough, and shaming
Sure.
publicly and all this kind of thing. Protests, doing things to stop. Train couldn't pass through here. They, it's going to get somebody's attention. So, they start slowing the schedules coming through because people are stopping because they're hearing, you can't pass, there's something going on here, there's something going on there. They start getting jammed up where they're not able to just blow through here the way they feel like it. They might start paying attention, but that's something outside the scope of anybody, within official.
Well, the next step is let's see what happens on Wednesday. See what they have to say.
Right.
And we're not there to say when are you going to get around to it, because I really don't want to hear that either. I want dates. Tell me what's going on. I mean, long term, it's 5 years. It's 5 years since it started to right now.
Right.
Right now, in my world, long term, at 5 years, it's done.
Right. And at the very least, a start of something.
Right.
Within 5
So,
I mean,
we're not getting that. Now they're telling me they have to report and they're going to start talking about it. Well, it's too far for that.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Right.
You put up a bridge, dig a tunnel, I don't care what you do, but you come up with a plan.
Right. And like I said, they have done things on that scale in other spots.
And listen, I mean, you hate to say it, but right now we have a little bit on the run. I know the police department's been very aggressive as far as going after it, and right now we're like a dog with a bone. We don't want to let go because the timing is on. The timing is right for us to try and push something through. So that's why we're going to stick with it.
Right. Then my other question was, how many in-person interviews we had for the code enforcer?
How many? None yet.
No, I said we're going to do them in December.
Oh, December.
Yeah, I've been reviewing the applications, they all seem qualifying, so I'm going to put together an internal group to look over the applications that we've received, and we'll probably pick several that are sort of rising to the top and schedule interviews.
Okay, and then regarding the training for the noise ordinance, which the noise has been better, there's still room to tighten it up, but it's certainly been better. When it comes to the training for the individual to take those readings, I know when Tyler was here, he suggested he was going to be doing that training during December. Is that something the borough is paying for?
That has not been scheduled, so I don't...
We didn't schedule that yet, Kevin.
All right, well, I just know he said that he was going to be taking the training, so I was just curious, because I've mentioned to Councilman President Conyan that I felt if we were going to be paying for any training, that it would be more appropriate to possibly train some officers who are already in the field anyway, and there may even be funding available to do the additional police training, rather than training, a kid who, in my experience, is in hiding for 2 years. But that's my own personal experience.
And I don't want to speak out of turn because I did have a couple of conversations with the chief over this. Not necessarily do we need to have a specific number assigned to anything as much as a nighttime disturbing the peace. Is that right, Chief? Huh?
I think it was after 9.
It was after 9. It's disturbing the peace. If it's disturbing the peace, there doesn't really necessarily have to be a number associated with it as much as it's a disturbance to people that are going around.
Right. No, I've made calls, and then I noticed, you know, within...
Well, they've been there, and we've,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
and we've gone after them a few times with the noise, and they did not realize that they were making as much noise, but we taken care of it. Matt, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, our ordinance is time specific, so if it's 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, if a complaint comes in, we'll investigate it. If the officer doesn't witness it or feel that it's too loud or violates the ordinance, the caller will have the opportunity to sign a complaint.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, the times I've called, they were responsive, and then I heard it stop. So, you know, it has been effective. It's just that they are still, and again, I realize the guy has how many people working for him. He's got to get all of them on board. It may take a while before these guys, you know, he gets them smart enough.
Well, continuous improvement, you know.
But there's definitely been an improvement with it. So,
all right, good.
Yeah, if I may, our staff reached out when the owner was out of the country. He immediately called on one of those complaints. His staff that was there, and he's been pretty good since then.
Yeah, oh no, now there's certainly been response with it, so.
9 o'clock time I was saying is because he said he wouldn't be doing the aluminum rims after 9. That was the 9 o'clock.
They wouldn't be outside.
They wouldn't be working outside that after 9. But if it's in excess of noise, it's still a complaint. So.
Right, because some of it just got,
yeah.
But yeah, so that was, I always try to sandwich it with anything, you know, and an open-faced sandwich, so close it with a positive. But yeah, that has been improving, so I appreciate that.
All right, good. Thank you.
Dave Polkevich, G40 Hazelwood. A few questions on a couple of things, Mayor. There was an ordinance introduced tonight, the second one, I don't have a copy of it, regarding development fees. Those fees that are generated, what are they used for? Does the money just go into the general fund?
The ordinance tonight just changes the title of the ordinance, the location in the ordinance. As to the development fees, I think we'd have that Carolyn exactly where they go. That was not in our purview.
Okay, my real reason for asking that was at the town hall, you know, a lot of things got discussed. Somebody said something about affordable housing. And I know there was a decision recently, and now I think I read something the other day, there's already litigation being discussed, there's all sorts of things going on with that. Do we have any ordinance or any mechanism in place as a town to charge builders, you know, we don't have any large-scale developers here, but even, you know, small developers, affordable housing fees when they build something or they, you know, add on to something?
Yeah, that would be in that ordinance, and those funds would go to the COA fund, which the Affordable Housing Fund, which I know Carolyn is doing some work on. So, and I think that when there's also a pilot, they pay into.
Okay. Do we know generally how much we have in our affordable housing fund?
I've asked that question. Carolyn's working. Okay. You and I are thinking quite alike. So.
I know Rich Rutt was really big a few years ago that when Pinelli built, I guess, the first high-rise, he was supposed to put $100,000 into that fund. Somebody said at one meeting that there was they checked that there was $100,000. The only reason I'm asking this is I think from what I know of the law, if a builder builds and gets charged these affordable housing fees, they can be charged up to 1.5%, I think, of the assessed value of their...
That sounds right.
Yeah, something. I think it used to be 1%. They got raised up.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I was just, you know, we're not a town that's got a huge amount of open space. We're not going to get hit with a 300 or 400 unit development proposal, but we could, under this new decision, new guidelines, be hit with some expenses. I mean, I think what was the thing came out said we owe like 90 units or 81.
81. They want 14 now, and you have 10 years to get up to 81 or something like that.
You know, but even those 14, you know, if we had to rehab units, there's a cost to that. And if you can collect money from builders or developers and let them pay it instead of us, I think that's a good thing.
Well, at this point, it's one of the things that we are looking at in terms of understanding for ourselves what we have to do, because there's a bunch of different parts they're involved. If you're Piscataway, they tell you to put up 100 units. You know, you go to the next farm over, carve off a little piece of land. We don't have that. Right. You know, so we have to figure out what do you do when you're sort of landlocked, and what are the requirements that we have to do? Do we have to look to try and buy somebody's property and then turn it into low income, or someone's going to do a project force them to be low, I don't really know. We don't know the answers to that, or at least I don't. But that's what we're trying to figure out, is what exactly what's our obligation? And I don't know what the answer to that is.
I know there's periodically been discussion here about, more senior housing in town. And I believe, Mr. Corsini could correct me, but I believe senior housing counts for that.
It
right?
counts. It's a ratio. I think it's like 20%. It really is a construct, the formula, to say the least.
But I'm just saying, I would just like to see, even, the 10-year number, again, you're right, who knows what's going to happen 10 years down the road. But that 14 units, even if it's just rehabbing some units that are run down, there's a cost to that, even if it's $100,000. If you get it from developers and we don't have to pay it, I think that's a positive thing. Just a couple of other things. What's the status of the Presbyterian Church property? That hasn't showed up on the executive session.
It's out of our purview right now. Nothing exists.
What does that
Well,
mean?
That means there's no contract. We're not obligated to buy. It's the Presbytery owns it, and it's their property to do with as they please,
So
within the constructs of whatever fits in the codes.
those discussions that were going on like earlier this year are sort of just like dissolved.
Well, it dissolved, Dave.
terminated.
It's terminated.
They were terminated.
Yeah, so we engaged in negotiations, as the governing body did for many, many months. Couldn't come up with a deal, and the contract, which is just a term sheet, basically, is over.
Okay, so even if, I know you passed a resolution at some point for a reduced price, even you consider a reduced price, it's not even going to be purchased at the reduced prices.
They didn't bite.
They didn't bite. Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, last thing.
We terminated it after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was terminated after that, Dave, just so you know. It's like we made it a counteroffer, they didn't accept it, and after that, we just terminated so it's done.
The resolution got passed, and then there was 2 or 3 meetings where it kept showing up on executive session. You guys like an opposite talking about it, and you just kept saying, nothing to report. Just hadn't heard anything in a while, and hadn't even seen it listed on the executive session. That's all I want.
It's done and dusted.
Okay, last thing, Mr. Place reported that the local history room is going to open in January.
Yeah,
What's been the delay with that? Because it seems like we've been mentioning that for a long time.
yeah, it's pretty far along, so it's very close to being open. What delayed it was library staff and some of our borough staff had to look at other aspects of the library building that needed repairs and maintenance, so that took them away from the history room, unfortunately. I'm anxious to get it open as well, but that was the reason for some of the delay. Staff just had to focus on some other projects. So,
Okay. All right, thanks very much.
All right, anybody else? Okay, motion to close the privilege of the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Linda, you have
Jeez, Linda.
22 of them to
Take
go.
a deep breath, Linda.
Resolution 297, 2024, acceptance of standing reports. Resolution 298, 2024, accepting the resignation of Ronald Katz as school crossing guard effective immediately. Resolution 299, 2024, approving the contract for floor mat services for a 1-year contract beginning January 1, 2025 and ending December 31, 2025 to National Dust Control in an amount not to exceed $6,672.90. Resolution 300, 2024, authorizing the Sustainable Jersey Climate Vulnerability Assessment Technical Assistance Application. Resolution 301, 2024, authorizing participation in the 2024 Sustainable Jersey PSE&G Energy Efficiency Partnership Program. Resolution 302, 2024, authorizing the refund of $1,875 in favor of Guaranteed Service Horn LLC, 2675 Route 70, Manasquan, New Jersey, 08736, for street opening permit number 2024-001. Resolution 303, 2024, authorizing the purchasing agent to sell various surplus personal property on an online auction website entitled municibid.com. Resolution 304, 2024, authorizing the purchase of 10 new rifles and equipment for the police department from Atlantic Tactical in the amount of $8,723.89. Resolution 305, 2024, accepting the change of property class status to tax exempt for Block 126, Lot 4.16. Resolution 306, 2024, refund the duplicate payment on fourth quarter 2024 taxes for Block 224, Lot 11.01. Resolution 307, 2024, approving the reimbursement of $300 to Giselle Peralta, 808 Farrell Court, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, for the 2024-2025 Board of Health Mercantile License. Resolution 308-2024, amending the Middlesex Borough Personnel Policy and Procedures Manual to amend the following Section 3.6 Paid Holiday Policy. Resolution 309-2024, authorizing the mayor to sign the lease agreement with Jersey Mail Systems LLC in the amount of $10,962 for the folder inserter for the term of the lease agreement. Resolution 310-2024, authorizing the mayor to execute the memorandum of understanding between the state of New Jersey DEP and the Borough of Middlesex regarding the acquisition of property. Resolution 311-2024, authorizing the transfer of funds for the 2024 operating budget and 2024 swim pool budget. Resolution 312-2024, authorizing the cancellation and improvement authorization for the 2019 library HVAC and tax revaluation. Resolution 313-2024, authorizing the cancellation and improvement authorization for the 2020 redevelopment area bonds. Resolution 314-2024, authorizing the treasurer to remit the condo reimbursements for 2024 to various properties. Resolution 315-2024, acknowledging the change in status for certain properties under the Veterans Tax Deductions for Block 224, Lot 11.01. Resolution 316-2024, refunding the homeowner of Block 84, Lot 15 for a construction permit application as he has been declared a 100% disabled veteran by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Resolution 317-2024, authorizing the qualified purchasing agent to enter into a cooperative pricing agreement with Buy Board. Resolution 318-2024, approving an agreement concerning permitting adjustments for 2022 Whitney Drive.
I didn't get that. You want to repeat the whole thing again? No, just kidding. All right. Does anyone want to pull anything at this point? No? Okay. Could I have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Second? All right. Any comments, discussion, real quick? Guess didn't think so. All right. Roll call, please.
Council President Carnahan.
Yes.
Councilman Carnes. Councilman DeCino.
Yes.
Councilman Doty.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
And Councilman Rex.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Non-consent agenda?
We have Resolution 319-2024, payroll claims.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Council President Carnahan.
Yes.
Councilman Carnes.
Abstain.
Councilman DeCino.
Yes.
Councilman Doty.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
And Councilman Rex.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, at this point, we don't have an agenda workshop item, so we don't need a privilege of the floor on the agenda workshop item. We are going to have an executive session. No action will be taken. And right after we do the resolution, we're going to take a 5-minute break for the room to clear. And once again, before everyone goes, have a very nice Thanksgiving. Hope your turkeys turn out good. There's plenty of them out there and plenty of good recipes. And outside of that, be safe. So, Linda?
We have Resolution 320-2024, executive session.
Motion.